Las Vegas used to roar packed sidewalks, dazzling shows, lines that wrapped around the block. Now it whispers. And one casino CEO just admitted the silence might not be an accident. Casinos are dimming their lights on purpose, and sidewalks echo with silence. In June 2025, visitor numbers plunged by 11%. Nearly 400,000 people gone in a single month. It's not just a Vegas problem, it's what happens when greed replaces magic. We'll uncover the new reason Las Vegas is empty, and why what's happening here could rewrite the future of every tourist city in America. 10. The disappearing strip. If you walk down Las Vegas Boulevard today, something feels off. The neon still burns, the slot machines still sing, but the rhythm of the city, that constant heartbeat of footsteps, laughter, and cheers, has faded. There's space now where there never used to be. You notice it in the quiet pauses between sounds, in the reflections on empty escalators, and in the way casino doors open to half-full lobbies. The energy that once defined this place has thinned into something unfamiliar, almost haunted. According to the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority, visitor volume dropped by more than 11% in June 2025 compared with the same month a year earlier. That's nearly 400,000 fewer people in just 1 month. Midweek occupancy along the strip is even weaker, slipping below 80% for the first time since the pandemic recovery. Yet, in a strange twist, the Nevada Gaming Control Board reported that casino revenue actually rose about 6% in 2024. Fewer visitors, higher profits, a paradox that doesn't make sense until you look closer. Vegas isn't collapsing, it's recalibrating. The city has discovered how to make more money from fewer guests. Room rates have surged, resort fees have ballooned, and high-end amenities now dominate what used to be free or low-cost experiences. When you step into a property like Caesar's Palace or Bellagio, it still looks busy, but the buzz is controlled, a curated chaos. There's breathing room now on the gaming floor, and it's not because demand disappeared, it's because management decided emptiness is good business. This new Las Vegas operates on a different kind of economics. The old Vegas thrived on volume. Fill every room, pack every table, and let the crowds create their own momentum. The new Vegas sells scarcity. Quiet spaces read as luxury. Dimmed lights suggest exclusivity. The Strip's shrinking crowds are not a symptom of decline. They're the outcome of strategy. What you're seeing isn't accidental stagnation, it's transformation. Fewer people, higher prices, and a meticulously engineered sense of calm. A quieter Vegas isn't a broken Vegas, it's a profitable one. The city has learned that the illusion of fullness no longer matters as much as the control of perception. The emptiness, in other words, is not a mistake. It's the business plan. But who would design a plan like that? The answer comes straight from the top, and it's caught on tape. 9. The CEO's admission. To understand why Las Vegas feels quieter than it has in decades, you have to start at the top, with the people paid to keep it that way. During a 2023 Caesars Entertainment earnings call, CEO Tom Reeg made a statement that sounded routine to investors, but now reads like a confession. "You're bringing in higher value customers," he said. "You're already full, it shares you're kicking out the lowest end." And then came the key phrase. "I see no reason that needs to or would stop." In just a few lines, Reeg revealed the strategy behind the silence. The emptiness isn't failure, it's policy. Reeg's comment wasn't an offhand remark. It was a blueprint for how modern Las Vegas now operates. According to Caesars' own investor reports, the company's ongoing up-tier initiative focuses on attracting fewer guests who spend significantly more per stay. The goal is no longer to fill every room or every blackjack table, but to eliminate what the company calls low-yield segments, ordinary travelers who don't deliver enough profit margin. The pattern extends beyond Caesars. MGM Resorts stated in its 2024 annual report that its strategy revolves around targeting premium customers to optimize asset value. In simple terms, both giants are doing the same thing, replacing the crowd economy with the elite economy. It's a shift from volume to value, from inclusivity to exclusivity. In practice, this new playbook means higher resort fees, reduced comps, and the quiet extinction of low-limit tables that once welcomed casual gamblers. Promotional hotel rates that used to attract midweek visitors are disappearing. Even longtime loyalty members report fewer perks unless they're in the top-tier categories. What feels like Shrinking foot traffic to you is actually by design, like a curated reduction meant to protect margins. Executives now measure success not by occupancy, but by revenue per available room and spend per guest. It's the same model luxury fashion brands use. Limit access, inflate perception, and charge more. The fewer customers you serve, the more valuable each one becomes. So when you walk into a casino that feels half empty, it isn't mismanagement, it's math. A smaller crowd means higher yield, less wear on resources, and the illusion of exclusivity. This is the new Las Vegas, and a city engineered to appear calm and composed, run by CEOs who openly admit they want it that way. The silence on the Strip isn't a symptom of decay. It's the sound of control. And once you know who's controlling the silence, you'll see how they're staging it. Literally, room by room. 8. The luxury illusion. Walk into almost any major Strip resort on a quiet Tuesday night, and you'll feel it. Not emptiness exactly, but something curated. Certain hallways are dark, restaurants shuttered early, bars hushed before midnight. You might assume maintenance, renovations, or staffing shortages. But behind the scenes, executives call it inventory management, a polite industry term for closing what they don't want you to see. Entire wings of hotels are routinely kept offline during slower periods to cut labor costs and reduce electricity use. The result? The remaining open sections look lively and full. According to reports from the Nevada Gaming Control Board, average Strip occupancy still hovers near 80%, yet locals and employees will tell you large parts of many resorts are deliberately dark midweek. It's not failure, it's theater. The Mirage, before its 2024 closure, was famous for this tactic, turning off lights in unused towers to project an aura of calm exclusivity. MGM Resorts and Caesars properties have quietly followed the same model, reducing operations on slower nights, but keeping digital billboards flashing sold out. The fewer rooms made available, the more exclusive the property appears, and the higher the average rate climbs. This is what insiders call the luxury illusion. It's a trick of light and psychology. A casino can appear bustling if every guest is funneled into one glowing, high-energy area. Overhead lighting and music focus attention on central zones, bars, main tables, or high-limit rooms. Economically, the logic makes sense. Scarcity sells. People are more willing to pay premium prices when they believe they're competing for limited space. It's the same tactic luxury brands use when they restrict supply to drive demand. But for Vegas, this tactic reshapes the city's identity. What was once about spectacle and scale is now about controlled perception. To the casual visitor, the Strip still looks alive. But step beyond the velvet rope and the silence is unmistakable. Dark hallways, empty conference rooms, shuttered gift shops. The Strip isn't dying. It's being edited. Each closed restaurant and dimmed corridor is a deliberate act of image management, sculpting the city to serve fewer people while charging them more. Vegas learned that illusion can be more profitable than reality. But every illusion has a breaking point. When too many lights go dark, even the brightest marquee can't hide what's missing, the crowds that once made the city feel truly alive. But before the crowds disappeared, something else did. The free magic that made people come in the first place. 7. The death of free Vegas. There was a time when Las Vegas didn't need to sell tickets to magic. The city was the magic. You could stroll down the Strip at sunset and see the Mirage volcano erupt every 15 minutes, a free inferno of light and sound that drew people from every corner of the world. At Treasure Island, the Battle of Buccaneer Bay staged nightly pirate fights with explosions so loud they rattled nearby hotel windows. None of it cost a dime. Families came for the spectacle. Dreamers came for the promise that even the ordinary could feel extraordinary. Those shared experiences were the beating heart of Old Vegas. That heart has stopped. The Mirage volcano, which had thrilled visitors since 1989, erupted for the final time in July 2024 before demolition began in August. Its replacement, the Hard Rock guitar-shaped tower, is scheduled to open in 2027, a monument to exclusivity where the city once offered wonder for free. Treasure Island's pirate shows, closed since 2013, remain a ghost story from a different era, and smaller attractions have vanished quietly, like Marvel's Avengers STA Taiwan, which closed its doors on January 1st, 2024. Each closure marks another piece of the city's soul traded for high-end retail and VIP lounges. When free spectacles disappear, the barriers to entry rise. Vegas no longer feels like an open invitation, it feels like a velvet rope. The city isn't trying to charm everyone anymore. It's trying to impress a select few. Executives frame these removals as reinvestments, but the truth is simpler. Maintaining free attractions doesn't fit a luxury business model. You can't charge admission to a volcano. This shift changes everything about how visitors experience the Strip. Families who once wandered between free shows now stay home or settle for quick photo ops. Casual tourists who once filled sidewalks for nightly eruptions now see construction walls and, coming soon, billboards. The joy of discovery, that spontaneous Vegas energy, is fading. Imagine walking past the Mirage today. The air feels different. The roar is gone, the crowd is gone, and the silence feels almost deliberate. That emptiness is not neglect. It's policy. It's the visual proof of a city that stopped trying to impress everyone and started catering only to those who can afford to be impressed. The death of free Vegas isn't just about shows or fireworks. It's about what those moments represented: community, equality, and shared awe. When the free wonder disappears, so does the sense that Vegas belongs to all of us. The volcano didn't just erupt its last fire. Las Vegas once belonged to the middle class, the road trippers from California, the retired couples chasing jackpots, the young dreamers arriving with $200 and a sense of wonder. For decades, they were the city's heartbeat. They filled the buffets, crowded the sidewalks, and kept the lights burning 7 nights a week. But now, their voices echo through half-empty casinos and overpriced lobbies. The city that was built on Middle America's optimism is quietly evicting its own foundation. The costs start adding up before a visitor ever touches a slot machine. Resort fees now average $40 to $55 per night, according to the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority. Parking, once proudly free, often adds another $20 or more per stay. Add $25 cocktails, $30 pancakes, and a mandatory daily service charge, and the bill rises faster than the Bellagio fountains. For many travelers, that sticker shock is breaking the spell. Social media is filled with stories of frustration. One Reddit user wrote, "This is why we just sleep in the car. Vegas doesn't want regular people anymore." TikTok videos show tourists filming receipt totals with disbelief: $60 for breakfast, $80 for drinks, $100 for resort charges they didn't see coming. These aren't isolated complaints. The middle class, once the engine of Las Vegas tourism, is now treated as an afterthought. Marketing budgets that once targeted average travelers have pivoted to VIPs, convention clients, and influencers. Affordable dining options and family packages are vanishing, replaced by luxury brunches and high-priced ticketed events. Casinos would rather fill fewer rooms at higher rates than welcome a steady stream of everyday guests. The irony is hard to ignore. Industry analysts from UNLV's Center for Gaming Research note that mass-market gamblers still make up the majority of casino revenue nationwide, yet Las Vegas continues to chase elite profits while pushing away the very customers who kept it alive through recessions and pandemics. So what happens when the people who built the dream stop showing up? You get the new Vegas, quieter, emptier, and colder. The lights still shine, but the laughter is gone. The middle class didn't just leave, they were pushed out. And in their absence, the Strip's silence isn't just noticeable, it's deafening. So if Vegas no longer wants the average visitor, who are they chasing instead? 5. The whale obsession. While middle-class visitors vanish, the elite high rollers, known in the industry as whales, are being courted with unprecedented privilege. These are the players whose bets can hit 6 or 7 figures in a single session, and Las Vegas is building an entire ecosystem to keep them happy. Major resorts now design private villas, personalized jet transfers, ultra-exclusive gaming salons, and secret tables that ordinary guests never even glimpse. Beneath that glittering surface lies a ruthless equation: fewer guests, higher individual spending, and an illusion of opulence that masks a shrinking customer base. High rollers receive treatment that borders on fantasy. They're picked up by chauffeured Rolls-Royces, flown in on private aircraft, and escorted directly to penthouses that can exceed 10,000 square feet. Suites like the Chairman Villa at the Venetian or the Sky Villas at Aria can cost more than $20,000 a night, though the biggest players never see a bill. Credit lines flow freely, exclusive dining rooms open only on request. Every detail is designed to signal one message: you are the only customer who matters. But here's the irony: despite all the glamour, whales are not the financial backbone of Las Vegas. According to data from the University of Nevada, Las Vegas Center for Gaming Research, the majority of gaming revenue still comes from mass market players, slot machines, table games, and casual tourists. Those modest gamblers, not the billionaires, provide steady volume. Yet, they're being priced out as casinos pour resources into serving a tiny elite. This obsession reshapes the casino floor itself. You can see it when you walk through the Strip today. Rows of inactive slot machines, curtained off poker rooms, and VIP entrances guarded like embassies. The design screams exclusivity, but it also reveals insecurity, a city chasing prestige to mask its dependence on fewer and fewer people. It's a paradox at the heart of modern Vegas. In chasing whales, the city is starving its own ecosystem. By feeding the few, it is alienating the many. The old Vegas was a celebration of inclusivity, a place where a factory worker from Ohio could share a table with a CEO. The new Vegas has remapped that purpose entirely. The whale obsession doesn't just change who gets invited to play, it changes what the city stands for. And that, more than anything, defines the new architecture of emptiness. And behind those changes stand two corporations controlling it all, turning Vegas into something more like a monopoly than a miracle. 4. The monopoly problem. For decades, competition drove Las Vegas forward. Every casino fought for attention. Lower room rates, flashier signs, and more generous buffets. But today, the Strip has quietly transformed into a duopoly. Two corporations, Caesars Entertainment and MGM Resorts, International, now control the majority of rooms and gaming space on Las Vegas Boulevard. Between them, they own or operate more than 20 major properties, from Caesars Palace, Paris, and Flamingo, to MGM Grand, Bellagio, and Mandalay Bay. That kind of concentration doesn't just shape the skyline, it shapes prices. With fewer independent operators, there is less reason to compete. Resort fees, parking charges, and minimum table limits have crept upward in near lockstep. When one giant raises its rates, the other quietly follows. It's a synchronized dance of profit, and travelers pay the price. This consolidation was fueled by decades of mergers. Caesars absorbed Harrah's in 2005, then acquired properties like Planet Hollywood and Horseshoe. MGM expanded through the 2000s and 2010s, taking control of Mirage, Cosmopolitan, and eventually leasing out real estate to itself. Through subsidiaries like Vizzy Properties and MGM Growth Properties, what looks like variety on the Strip, different neon logos, themed facades, unique attractions, often leads back to the same corporate parent. In 2024, the Nevada Gaming Control Board noted that Strip revenue hit $8.9 billion, but room rates reached record highs. The average daily room price was roughly $185, and resort fees pushed the total well beyond $230 per night. That is not organic growth, that is consolidation economics. When travelers no longer have true alternatives, prices can rise without consequence. This new Las Vegas cartel thrives on sameness. Themed casinos that once offered distinctive experiences now share the same slot providers, drink menus, loyalty programs, and dynamic pricing systems. The illusion of choice keeps tourists moving between properties that all belong to the same two companies. For decades, Las Vegas promised freedom and competition. Now it feels like a closed market where the odds aren't just stacked at the tables, they're stacked before you even arrive. The house always wins, but in this version of Vegas, the house has merged into one. But while the corporate Strip grows colder, a different kind of Vegas is quietly fighting back, and it's happening just a few miles away. 3. The local rebellion. While the Strip grows colder and more corporate, a quiet revolution is happening a few miles away. Locals, the bartenders, dealers, and lifelong residents who built this city, are reclaiming the old Vegas spirit. Off-strip casinos like South Point, Station Casinos, the Orleans, and Sam's Town are thriving by doing the opposite of what the mega resorts are doing. They've brought back what made Las Vegas beloved: free parking, friendly dealers, affordable dining, and a sense of community. South Point's movie nights and $5 steak specials fill dining rooms that still feel like family gatherings. Station Casinos has committed more than $1 billion to expanding its local portfolio through 2026, building properties like Durango Resort that specifically target Nevada residents. Their goal is simple: give people value again. And it's working. The Nevada Gaming Control Board reported that locals' casino revenue grew nearly 10% year over year in early 2025, outpacing Strip growth by a wide margin. Locals are vocal about why they've turned away from the Strip. One resident posted online, "We didn't change, the Strip did." Another wrote, "They broke the Vegas promise. It used to be that if you lost your gambling money, at least you ate well and saw a show. Now you just lose." Those sentiments echo across social media, fueling the new divide between Vegas for visitors and Vegas for locals. In neighborhoods like Henderson and Summerlin, smaller casinos have become social hubs again. You'll find locals chatting with bartenders who know their names and paying $10 for a meal that would cost $40 on the Strip. That sense of belonging is the antidote to corporate excess. This movement is not nostalgia, It's adaptation. As the Strip isolates itself with luxury walls and corporate sameness, the locals are building a parallel Vegas that remembers its roots. They're showing that connection and affordability still matter more than exclusivity. It's ironic, but poetic. While the billion-dollar towers on Las Vegas Boulevard chase elite gamblers and online influencers, the real heartbeat of the city is moving back to the people who never left. The rebellion isn't loud, but it's steady, and it's proving that community might just outlast the cartel. But numbers don't lie, and the data now shows just how unstable that cartel really is. 2. The numbers break down numbers never lie, and in Las Vegas, they tell a story more unsettling than any rumor. Visitor volume has dropped, room occupancy is sliding, and guest satisfaction has reached its lowest levels in years. According to the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority, midweek hotel occupancy in 2025 hovered below 80%, down more than 2 points from the previous year. But here's where it gets strange. Even as fewer people came, casino revenues hit near record highs. The Nevada Gaming Control Board reported that total Strip gaming revenue rose by over 6% in 2024, surpassing $8.9 billion, yet net income collapsed by more than 40%. Casinos were making more, but keeping dramatically less. That means higher costs, lower efficiency, or a flawed strategy built on short-term greed. When companies charge $55 resort fees and $25 drinks, the illusion of profit lasts only as long as people tolerate it. Data from the American Customer Satisfaction Index also shows a decline in travel satisfaction for Las Vegas compared with pre-pandemic years. Complaints about surprise charges, long lines, and reduced service staff dominate reviews. Visitors feel overcharged and underappreciated. For every luxury suite sold to a high roller, hundreds of casual tourists decide not to come back. This is the crack in the new Vegas model. It's not sustainable growth, it's financial self-cannibalism. The top-line numbers look healthy for investors, but the foundation is eroding. A city that once prided itself on affordable luxury is now balancing its books by squeezing fewer guests harder. Imagine an animated chart rising and falling on screen, revenue climbing in gold, profit plummeting in red. That contrast is the visual truth. It shows a city pretending to thrive while its core audience quietly slips away. Las Vegas was built on volume, experience, and loyalty, not on extraction. When the numbers start turning against the illusion, it's not a question of if the system breaks, but when. And that brings us to the most revealing truth of all. Vegas didn't lose its crowds to another city. It lost them to a new kind of casino, one that fits in your pocket. That casino isn't in Nevada, it's in your phone. And it's the real reason Las Vegas is empty. It's one. The digital desertion, the real new reason. Here's the real reason Las Vegas feels empty. The gamblers didn't vanish. They migrated online. The new Strip isn't made of neon. It's made of pixels and apps. According to the American Gaming Association, the U.S. online gambling market exceeded $12.6 billion in 2024, nearly double what it was just 2 years earlier. Millions of players now spin slots, bet on sports, and play blackjack from their couches. No resort fees, no overpriced cocktails, and no parking garages. Younger generations, particularly Gen Z and millennials, are driving this shift. A 2025 Civic Science survey found that over 40% of adults under 35 had tried online gambling or sports betting within the last year. Many of them have never even set foot in a physical casino. For them, Las Vegas isn't an aspiration, it's a relic. The irony is painful. The very technology Vegas once embraced to market itself, digital loyalty apps, mobile betting kiosks, influencer advertising, is now siphoning off its customers. Why fly to Nevada when the same rush is a tap away? Executives know this, but few will admit it publicly. Instead of reinventing for the digital age, many resorts doubled down on the shrinking luxury niche, raising prices to offset declining traffic. That's not innovation. That's denial. The effects ripple beyond casinos, taxi drivers, restaurant workers, show performers, all depend on in-person tourism. As those numbers drop, the local economy feels the emptiness too. Las Vegas doesn't just risk losing its visitors, it risks losing its soul. There was a time when Vegas was the symbol of escape, a place where anyone, rich or poor, could chase luck under a million lights. But in chasing whales and digital relevance, the city is forgetting what made it legendary, being the great equalizer of dreams. So yes, the new reason Las Vegas is empty isn't a mystery of economics. It's a consequence of evolution. Vegas didn't go quiet by accident. It went quiet by design and by denial. The lights are still on, the jackpots still ring, but the real action has already moved somewhere else. Las Vegas isn't dying, it's transforming into something unrecognizable. The warmth feels different, colder, curated. What was once the people's playground is becoming a gated stage for the few. Would you still visit a Vegas built only for the rich, or has the magic that made this city special finally been priced out of reach? Share your last Vegas experience in the comments, and was it worth what you paid? And if you want to see where more, make sure to subscribe to our channel.